let's use this timeline to acquaint ourselves with some of the events going on in southern Israel and surrounding countries in the time frame of Jeremiah's ministry. You'll see the Assyrian Empire depicted above the top blue line, southern Israel, that is Judea, between the two lines, and then variously Babylon, the Medes, or the Egyptians below the lower blue line. The Assyrians begin this era as the force to contend with. Ashurbanipal began with a strong rule in the early 7th century. Towards the close of his reign, however, the power of Assyria is weakening. In that time frame, Josiah is king of Israel, and Habakkuk and Zephaniah are serving prophetic ministry. In the last quarter of the 7th century, the Babylonians are becoming strong once again. They regain control of their capital in Babylon and ally with the Medes to put pressure on the Assyrians. In 612, they overpower the seat of authority, Nineveh itself, the capital of the Assyrians. Egypt, represented by Pharaoh Necho II, in the 26th dynasty, the Saite period, comes to power in 610. He is not pleased with the fact that there's a shift in the balance of power, the strengthening of the Babylonians over the Assyrians. Consequently, he tangles with the Babylonians successfully at Carchemish. That's 609. In order to reach Carchemish, he must travel through Israel. Josiah does not take kindly to his trespassing, and even though he is not provoked by Pharaoh Necho, Josiah moves out to meet him in the town of Megiddo towards the coast. The Egyptians are victorious in this encounter, and Josiah is killed. As a result of this somewhat inadvertent control of Israel by the Egyptians, they're in a position to determine who's going to be king. After a few brief months, Jehoahaz, the successor to Josiah, is removed by the Egyptians, actually taken back to Egypt, and the Egyptians set up Jehoiakim in his place. Jehoiakim is a legitimate Davidic heir, but he is authorized to rule by the Egyptians. Nebuchadnezzar follows the leadership of Nabopolassar, and he opposes the Egyptians, tangling once again at Carchemish. He is eager to establish the expansion of the Babylonian Empire, and very strategic is gaining control of the gateway of Carchemish. So here's the second Carchemish battle at 605. Whereas the Egyptians won in 609, now the Babylonians win in 605. Nebuchadnezzar does not stop at Carchemish, but rolls on south along the coast. At 605, comes to Jerusalem, and at this time exercises his control by deporting a number of the leading citizens, including Daniel. This is the time in which Daniel finds himself trekking to Babylon. Jehoiakim enjoys a very brief rule. Nebuchadnezzar comes against him and moves him to Babylon as well. This is 597. Ezekiel is deported with this group. Nebuchadnezzar sets up Zedekiah in place of Jehoiakim. At this time, Pharaoh Hophra comes to rule. Together with Zedekiah, Hophra is opposing the Babylonians. Nebuchadnezzar takes a very dim view of this and enforces his authority over Jerusalem with an 18-month siege. During that siege, Zedekiah of Judah reaches out to Egypt as an ally, asking for reinforcements. Egypt sends troops towards Jerusalem. The Babylonians briefly pull away. In fact, this is the incident where Jeremiah begins to leave Jerusalem and then is intercepted. People think that he's defecting to the Babylonians, when in fact he was just trying to make his way back to his hometown of Anathoth. The Babylonians come back, finish their 18-month siege, and in 586, about the middle of the year, is the fall of Jerusalem. It is during this period that Jeremiah serves, the twilight years of the southern kingdom of Israel. Let's use this historical chart, which we referred to in the past, to get another snapshot of the events surrounding Jeremiah's ministry. As before, we'll begin by concentrating on the column headed in yellow to draw our attention to Jeremiah himself, with ministry spanning approximately 627 to 585 BC. We want to keep in mind that he's operating during the era known as the Babylonian period. Significant because the Babylonian Empire has regained strength, led by Nabopolassar, after he had managed to regain control of his own capital, Babylon. He proceeded to bring the Assyrian Empire to its knees, in particular by conquering the Assyrian capital, Nineveh, in 612. Egypt tries to prop up Assyria, first by taking on the Babylonians at Carchemish in 609, which time they are successful. In 605, the Babylonians respond with another conflict against the Egyptians, still in Carchemish, and this time the Babylonians are successful. They are led at this time by Nebuchadnezzar. He is son of Nabopolassar. He comes to the Babylonian throne in 605, and it will be he, Nebuchadnezzar, who is responsible for the fall of Jerusalem in 586 or 587 BC. These are the significant events operating during the ministry of Jeremiah.